All right, what is up, you guys? So as of right now, I am in Texas. I will not be putting as many. I'm going to try to get out as many as I can, but I'm not going to be putting out as many daily videos as when I'm at home because I'm working from my laptop, and it's a lot harder to be doing this, while I'm on the road. I've tried to do it before, but it's much harder. So what I have done is I pre-recorded this. So this right now, this is April 28th. I plan to put this out next month, but I pre-recorded a ton of different videos for you guys based more around trading strategy, around my setups, which is what we're going to talk about today. In this video, we're going to talk about my updated 2021 trading setup. I'm going to do one here on TradingView, and I'm going to do one on Thinkorswim. I'm going to go over a couple of different indicators that I like to use and how I use them and why I use them. And I will probably end up putting them in separate videos. It really just all depends. But overall, one of the main things you're going to see is I'm going to go over my basic setup right now. When we get to the TD Ameritrade one, the Thinkorswim one, Thinkorswim is what I've been using basically my entire trading career. I just started using TradingView because I feel like it's easier for me to go ahead and teach people how to trade by using the platform, simply because it has a lot of cool functions like being able to take a quick screenshot and then posting this link for my private academy within the Discord. I feel like it's just a lot easier for you guys to see. Thinkorswim, if you don't understand it, it is very hard to use. The mobile for TradingView is so much better, so much better. And so I've tried to actually start to use this a bit more. But I don't know if I'm gonna end up staying with it. I told myself I'd pay for the premium. I'd give myself like a month and a half to start messing around with this and see if I'm gonna go back to trading or Thinkorswim. Overall, though, I still love Thinkorswim. I think so. Thinkorswim is better than TradingView personally. But when we get to the TradingView, when we get to Thinkorswim one, we're gonna talk a little bit more about why I think it's better. But overall, TradingView I do think is good. You have to pay monthly, which I'm not really a fan of. But I do like this also on a web browser, so I don't have to like download anything when I'm on the road. And it's just, I'd say like it's a lot more easy for somebody who doesn't have like a full-time computer, even though I do highly recommend that you should be trading off of a computer. But this is not going to be a review. I will do a full comprehensive review on TradingView once I have finished my 1 to 2 month test. But the main indicators that I'm running right now is an EMA, which is this, an exponential moving average, which is this blue line here. And I run a 15-day EMA. When I'm swing trading, I always run a 15-day EMA. If I'm day trading, like let me just go to my day trade setup. We'll go to the 1 minute. When I'm day trading, I run a 9 EMA. But when I'm swing trading, which is primarily what I do, I run a 15. The other thing you'll see are 3 SMAs, the 50, which is this red one, the 100, which is the green one, and the gold one, which is a 200-day SMA. I think that, there are some people who use a 9 SMA, some other people who use, like a 10 SMA. You can use different time SMAs whenever you want, but for me, I found the most accurate to be the 50, the 100, and the 200. And we're going to go over how to put all this into TradingView, but I just want to quickly go over them so you understand what I'm looking at first. SMAs, or simple moving averages, act as very, very strong and very, very accurate support and resistances. Overall, your 50-day SMA, which is your red one, is going to be the weakest of the 3. Your 100-day SMA is going to be stronger than your 50, but not as strong as the 200. And then your 200-day SMA is going to be the strongest one that you really have. And you see, if we look at the S&P 500 and we zoom out over the past about 2 years, you'll see we really have only ever fallen below the 200-day SMA twice. That was once in December of 2019 or 2018. If you guys remember, we had that like Christmas correction where the stock market really tanked, and then we quickly pulled back over it. And then obviously during the pandemic. But ever since then, besides that, if we zoom out even 10 years, the stock barely ever falls, well, the S&P 500 barely ever falls below the 200-day SMA. And even the 50-day SMA for the S&P 500 has been a very strong support. So I love to use SMAs and EMAs. Those are the ones that I run. Down here, I just have traditional volume bars. Volume is extremely important. If there was only 2 indicators I could use, it would probably be my EMA and my volume. Volume is extremely important. Now, the other thing I have down here is a TTM Squeeze. Now, on are straight up TD Ameritrade, you use a Ttm Squeeze. This one is called Ttm Squeeze and Momentum by Draken. So somebody created this on TradingView. From an indicator standpoint, I don't like this setup on TradingView as much as I love Thinkorswim. I feel like if you need to have above pro to get access to the really good indicators, and most of these indicators people have already made, I like Thinkorswim a lot better when it comes to indicators. Normally, I would also use a volume profile, which we'll talk about when we get to our other setup in Thinkorswim. But the volume profile, I'm going to make a whole video on volume profile too later on this week while I'm away. But if you look at volume profile, I like to normally use it here. The issue that I have with this is I don't know how to actually set it up in a certain way to where it doesn't end up moving. So like you can set it up in a fixed range like this, which is cool, but it's just not as good as Thinkorswim in my opinion. Overall, I like Thinkorswim a lot better. I will explain to you how to use your volume profile in another video because it's one of the best tools. I really believe it's one of the best tools that there is out there. And so let's go ahead and let's remove this and let's remove all of our indicators. So now every single indicator I have is removed. From time to time, let me get a weekly chart. It'll be a little bit easier for you guys to see. From time to time, I do like to use an RSI and a MACD. A lot of people ask me, why do I not use one? To be quite honest, the more that you use indicators and the more indicators that you use, I believe personally, the more flawed that it becomes. Indicators only work because people think that they work. It's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's not like there's a support at the 50-day SMA and the company knows it, so the company does something different to change the price of the stock. That's not how it works. It works because people think it works. So if everybody uses support and resistance at a 50-day SMA or Fibonacci's, which we'll talk about in another video, then they're going to notice, okay, the stock's approaching 50-day SMA. Let's start putting some buy orders in and the stock's going to bounce. So overall, I used to use RSI, I used to use MACD. I really don't need them anymore. Price action is going to be your friend. If you guys don't know what price action is, it's essentially how the stock is moving. If we look at the price action here on the S&P 500, this is a very long time frame, by the way. This is 10 years. But if you look at the S&P 500 over the past 10 years, what is the price action, right? We just draw supports all the way up. The price action is up. The price action is moving up. The trend is your friend. Now, I don't need an RSI to tell me that on the monthly chart or on the weekly chart that the S&P 500 is overpriced. I don't like, you know, overbought. I don't need a chart to tell me that the S&P 500 is overbought. Look at it, right? I'm sure if I go ahead and I go to my indicators and I type in my RSI, you know, relative strength index, when the RSI is up over 70, that means that a stock or an ETF is overbought. I don't need the RSI to tell me that it's overbought. I know it's overbought. I can just look at this thing and tell it's overbought. However, if I am somebody who has not been trading as long as I have, you might want to keep your RSI up. And so I'll probably make a video on RSI and MACD too for while I'm away. But I don't need to run these. I don't like to run MACD. I don't like to run RSI anymore because I just don't need it. However, what you're going to do to set up your EMA is come up here to indicators. You're going to click the indicators tab. And you're going to type EMA or moving average exponential. And this is the one you want to use. You're going to click it. And default, I think it's going to go to a 9 EMA. So what I go ahead and do is I'll click this EMA. I'll click the indicator. You right click and we're going to go to settings. Now settings, see the length. So length, I want the length to be 15. I want 15 days. Now you can also change the style. You can change it to yellow. You can change it to blue. You can change it to green, whatever you want. For me, I like it at just, you know, my normal blue color. That's what I like. That's what I'm used to. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set it to 15 days. I'm going to keep it blue. So you can see automatically with 15, it kind of made it a more latent type of support and resistance when it comes to the EMA. It makes it so that the EMA is not moving as fast as the price action of the stock. So for me, I want to have a more latent support and resistance. You can see here on the monthly that we ended up looking really good there. Now, as far as the other indicators, we're going to look up simple moving average. Now, when you're doing this on Thinkorswim, which I feel is a lot better, I've already kind of stated that before, you have to do this separate. So you have to set a 50 up by itself, 100 up by itself, a 200 up by itself. TradingView has them set up where you can do them alone, or you can do these pre-made ones, because the way that this works is I only get 5 indicators and I'm paying 15 a month. So you don't want to waste 3 of your indicators on these SMAs. So you could pick a 7, a 30, a 50, a 100, and a 200, which I'll put that up here. I think this is just way too many lines. I don't feel like it's necessary, and I don't really think that I need it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. I'm going to go back up to indicators. I'm going to type simple moving average. And that's not what I wanted. Let me get rid of this, remove. Okay, there we go. Simple moving average. And you're going to see the one that says 50, 100, 200. This is what I want. So I'm going to click 50, 100, 200, and these are going to be all different colors. So I'm going to right click, and you guys can make them whatever you want. For me, I always make them, I make my 50 red of some sorts, like this one. I always make my, and I'm going to make it a little smaller. So this is going to mess with how thin the line is. I like to keep the lines a little bit more on the thin side. So I'm going to make that red. I'm going to make my 100-day green. I'm going to make that thinner, and then I'm going to make my 200-day gold, and I'm going to make that thinner. Then I'm going to hit OK. So now my SMAs are set up. My EMA is set up. We're looking pretty good. However, I still need volume. Volume is extremely important. I'm just going to click the regular volume. That's going to bring my volume bars back up. And then I'm going to go ahead and click. I'm going to look up Ttm Squeeze. Oops, I messed that up. Here we go. Ttm Squeeze. And remember, we want this one, TTM and Momentum by Drekken. This is the one I like the best. I accidentally put 2 of them. Now to remove any of these down here, you just click this little X. And this is the setup. This is what I run right now. If you want, I can go over and I can do a video based around my day trading setup, which is going to be a lot different. In this one, I do run RSI and MACD because I feel like it's important for day trading. But overall, guys, I hope this video helped. If you want to get more full, in-depth videos, you can go ahead and get access to our 60-hour course library over at the website down below. You can use the code Academy90, get started for $10 your first month. You get access to the 60-hour course library. You get access to every single trade I take live as soon as I take it. Live stream with me and my team every morning for the first hour of market open. And you get access to our Discord. So I am going to post a lot more of these trading, strategy type videos. I'm going to go over and do a TD Ameritrade one as well. And then I can do some breakdowns if you want, depending upon what I do before I go away, based on certain indicators and how I use certain indicators and why I use them. Overall, guys, thank you for all of your support and your time, and have a great day.